Hello guys, this is FC Academy. In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you what professional knows to achieve stunning color grading in their video. So the first thing we're going to do is go to Windows over here and select our Lumetri color. So this is our Lumetri color over here. There are different tools to use for your color grading. So the first we're going to use is the basic correction. Before this, the most important thing to know is your Lumetri color. What is Lumetri color? Lumetri color is an essential color correcting and grading tool. It provides a comprehensive set of features for adjusting colors, exposures, contrast, and more, and is widely used by video editors to enhance the visual quality of their footage. Over here is the basic correction. This panel is where you make your primary color correction, such as adjusting white balance, exposure, and contrast. So when we scroll down over here, the first selection or the first important selection we're going to see is the white balance. This white balance is used for adjusting temperature. When we slide over here, this is the cool. When we slide over here, this is the warmth. When we slide over here in the tint, this is the green, and when we slide over here in the tint, this is the magenta. So in case you don't manually use these sliders over here, you could just use this eyedropper tool and select the brightest part in your scene. But for me, in my color grading, I don't like using my white balance first, so I'm going to skip this process for now and go to the tones. So the first is our exposure. This exposure over here controls our overall brightness. If I was to increase this exposure like this, you could see that our whole scene is being brightened up. So I'm going to reverse this by double clicking this, increase the slider a little like this, and also keep in mind, when you want to make a color grading, do not make your effect too effective. All you just need to do is push your sliders a little. That is where your beauty comes out. So this is the contrast over here. If we increase the contrast like this, it will make our scene pop. So can you see? And if we decrease the contrast over here, it will make our scene look faded. So what I'm going to do is increase contrast like this. And also keep in mind, when you're doing your color correction, that your Lumetri scope, which is the waveform Luma in your waveform type Luma over here, this is what you use for your color correction, so that you could be able to see the overall effect of your white and your dark parts areas in your videos. To understand more about this Lumetri scope, you could check our previous video. So the next is the highlight. This highlight deals with the brightest part in our scene. So what I'm going to do is increase the highlight a little, or let me increase it more so that you understand what I'm talking about. Can you see? The change over here mainly affected the sky, which is the brightest part in our scene. So what I'm going to do is decrease the highlight a little. And also, if you're looking for a 4K video for you to edit to test out your color grading skill, check the comment below and you will see a link that will lead you to our store. So this is the shadows. These shadows over here adjust the brightness of the darkest area in our scene. So what I'm going to do is increase the shadows a little, or let's say let me decrease the shadows more. Oh wow, this looks more better. And the next is our white and blacks. This white controls the bright part in our scene, while these darks control the dark side in our scene. So what I'm going to do is increase the blacks a little. Now let me try and decrease the blacks like this. And also keep in mind, when color grading a scene, always have a picture of your color grading in mind. Do not just go into your PC and start color grading except you're trying to practice. But when you're trying to do a real video, always have a picture. If you want it to look too cinematic, if you want it to be a normal color graded video, always have an idea of what you want to achieve in your color grading or in your video editing. So this is our saturation. Saturation helps us to pop up color. So this looks more better. So let's see the before and after of this scene. This is the before, this is the after. Like I said in our previous video, basic correction is normally used for color correction, and color correction helps us to fix imbalance in our video. So the next is the creative over here. And when we open the creative, what we're going to see first is the look. This look over here contains previewed color grading. To preview these color gradings, all you just need to do is use this arrow over here and you can see various options of color grading. But in this tutorial, I'm not going to be using look. We're just going to use it. We're just going to do our color grading in a manual way. If we select a color grading and our color grading seems to be too much, increase it or decrease it with this intensity over here. So the next is the adjustment, and under the adjustment it is the faded films. This faded film helps us to add a vintage film like to your footage. So if I was to increase this, so do you understand what I'm talking about? This faded film mostly is used for cinematic color grading. So what I'm going to do is just increase this a little like so, and increase the sharpen. This vibrance over here boost dull color, while saturation over here boost overall color. And for this shadow tint and this highlight tint, how I use them is by taking them to the highest value. With this, it makes me understand the concept of my color grading or the purpose of my color grading. Let's increase it a little and increase the highlight. Let's check out the yellows over here. This looks a little bit better. So let's see the before and after. This is the before, this is the after, this is the before, and this is the after. Like I said in my previous video, when you are doing your color grading, do not make this wave over here exceed this 100, or do not make this downside wave over here exceed this 0. It means your video is too bright when it's over here, and when it's down here it means your video is too dark. So we're done with this creative tool over here. The next is our curve. For my curve, I'll normally do 3 points, which is the midtones, highlights, and the shadows. So I'm going to increase these midtones a little, increase the highlight a little, and decrease the shadows. This curve is a very powerful tool for adjusting the tonal range and color channels. It seems like the shadows is too much, so I'm going to increase these shadows like this. This looks more better. Then I'm going to go to the reds and add the same midtones, highlight, and shadows. I'm going to decrease over here, which is the shadows. Decrease it like so. Then increase the highlight. Keep in mind that the highlight deals with the brightest part in our video. So the next is the grains. Still the same thing, the 3 points. When you are doing your color grading, this waveform Luma over here is not that necessary. What you use is your parade RGB, which use the red, green, blue, and turn off this waveform Luma, and also use your Vectorscope YUV, which helps us to identify the skin tone of our scene. And the last is our histogram, which deals with the brightness and the darkness. So the next is blues. I'm going to still create the 3 points, increase the blues, increase this, looks a little bit too much, so I'm going to decrease this. This looks more better, so I'm going to increase the highlight like this. This looks more better. So the next is our hue saturation curves, and under the hue saturation curves we see hue versus sat. And also remember, hue deals with color, saturation deals with the intensity of the color, luminance deals with the brightness or the darkness of your color. Manually use this pen tool like this and increase it, and select the reds and select the building over here, increase it a little bit. This looks more better. For this hue versus hue, if I was to select a part in our scene, this will change the color of any part that I select. So I'm not going to use this tool. I'm going to slide to the next one. Hue versus luma, which also means luminance. Remember, luma deals with the bright part in our scene. So for the rest of this tool, I am not going to be using them. I'm done with this part over here. Turn off the curve. So the next is the color wheels and match. Like I did before, take it to the highest part or the highest value. Let's use it for the yellows and increase the yellows close to the red a little. For this part, let's take it to the reds. So let's increase a little. Decrease it like so. And for this part, the blues a little. So the next is our HSL secondary. This HSL secondary over here, it is used to select a particular color in our footage. So for this scene, I am not going to be using our HSL secondary. Next is our vignette. This vignette tool over here adds a dark or light border around the frame, helping to focus the viewer's attention on the center of the frame. So what I'm going to do is decrease this vignette like this, increase the midpoint a little, the roundness and the feathers a little. So this is the before and this is our after, before and after. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial to the end, and also do not forget to like, subscribe, comment and hit the notification bell. Peace out guys.